Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Sunday, October 15th, 2023, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Now Mind You podcast. We're your hosts. I'm TJ.
I'm Matt.
I'm Bryce.
This is episode 87 Combat, and of course, there will be some spoilers ahead because we'll be covering the combat events that took place as of this recording Saturday night on the 14th. So, with that, Matt will take us into our boxing event in Janibek versus Gualtieri. And then, as a crew, we're going to cover UFC Fight Night Yusuff versus Barboza. So, without wasting any additional time, Matt, it's all you.
All right. So the first thing we'll be covering is the top rank card. The top rank card, we had Janibek versus Gualtieri. And the co-main event of that fight was a lightweight feature with Keyshawn Davis.
Oh, Business Keyshawn? Yeah.
Yep, businessman Keyshawn against Nahir Albright. So I'll start with our co-feature. This fight took place in Texas, I want to say. This was for, like the WB, WBC, WBO, like the little intercontinental titles, or what have you. And on one end, we have Keyshawn Davis, we've talked about on the show before, former Olympian, former amateur world champion and things of that nature. He's been on pretty much been on a tear, been on an undefeated streak, 9-0 coming into this fight. Obviously started off with TKOs, has fought varying levels of opposition, but he's, starting to move up. So they gave him a real guy. They had him fighting Nahir Albright. Nahir Albright is coming into this fight 16-2, only having lost to like very elite level guys coming into this fight. Jermaine Ortiz being one of them, who pretty much, if you are familiar with the name, took what's his name? Jermaine Ortiz took Lomachenko pretty much as far as he could go in his last fight, and pretty much showed made a good showing for himself. And then he also lost his very first fight, which was his pro debut in a decision. So he was coming into this fight only having those two losses, but having beat some pretty decent opposition on his way up as well. So this fight was either going to make a name for Nahir Albright, or it was going to be able to push Keyshawn forward. Drum roll, please. The result was Keyshawn remains undefeated. He comes into this fight, comes out of this fight 10-0. He saw a very small amount of adversity, but primarily this was the Keyshawn Davis show. He dominated and controlled the majority of the rounds, especially in my opinion, but obviously my opinion isn't the one that matters. The judge's opinion is what matters. And it was a majority decision for Keyshawn Davis. Keyshawn just has a really good understanding of space. He definitely had a little bit of a harder time starting out, at least with Nahir, because Nahir is active. Definitely was letting his hands go. Has a little bit, I believe he has a bit of a reach advantage on Keyshawn as well. No, their reach is about the same, but he just carries it, I think, a little bit different. It's about 70 versus 70.5. So it's nothing crazy, but I don't know. I just felt like overall Keyshawn did a great job. He actually was able to hurt Nahir Albright, but he was not able to stop him. Was able to chop him with a hard right hand on the fifth. Was catching him with some good shots in the sixth round as well. He took a hard overhand while he was pursuing Nahir, while he had him on the ropes. But outside of that, he dominated. For the 10-round fight, I'd say he probably won it 8-2, 9-1, something like that. So overall, it was a great fight. Looking forward to seeing what's going to be next for Keyshawn, whose star pretty much continues to rise. And then in the actual main event, we had Janibek versus Gualtieri. Yeah.
Gualtieri?
Quality. Listen. So anyway, this was a unification fight for the WBO and the IBF middleweight titles. Janibek was coming in as the WBO champion, and how do you say it?
Gualtieri.
Gualtieri was coming in with the IBF title. So this is a unification. About a little bit of a background. Janibek has been on a tear. Like, 30 years old, southpaw from Kazakhstan, decorated in various amateur games, and was coming into this fight undefeated, and really has been looking great. But this was the first time, in a lot of people's opinion, he was facing some real opposition, somebody that was going to expose whether he was really as good as we believed he was or not. And you enter, how you say this one more time?
Gualtieri.
All right, so you enter Gualtieri, and Gualtieri's WBO champion, also was coming into this fight 21-0, also undefeated, having very recently won the IBF middleweight title. Signature punch for Janibek is that left uppercut, and he was looking for it. And let me tell y'all something: when he found it, they changed the whole complexion of the fight. I felt like he was winning the fight, but he wasn't dominating this guy. Like, he was in control, but it wasn't one-sided. Gualtieri, he really was, he was really giving a good account of himself up until about that fifth round. He gets caught with an uppercut. He's never even so much as been down, and it buckled his knees. Janibek followed up. He was able to make it out of that fifth round, and after he was able to crank him with another left uppercut in that sixth round, and just followed up with a flurry of punches, the referee stepped in, and Janibek was able to walk away, now the IBF and WBO middleweight champion. So it was a pretty crazy fight. I just saw early on, especially once he found a home for that left uppercut, that was it. Like I said, 6 rounds in, and this guy, the Gualtieri, the last the last 5 fights he's had, he's gone all 12 rounds. He's coming, in fact, 6. His last 6 fights have all been 12 rounders, and he's gone all 12. And he gets in here with Janibek and only gets halfway through that before he's, eventually stopped. So time is only going to tell what we're going to see going forward with Janibek, but he looks like he's going to be the future of their division, and another proud son of Kazakhstan. So we'll see what happens. He's 30 years old, so he's still young. He's still got a lot of time in front of him. But with that's going to conclude the boxing, and we are in fact going to slide over to the UFC. And last night we had a UFC fight night, Yusuff versus Barboza. With that card, we had a pretty decent, I thought we had a pretty decent overall card. It opens up with Christian Rodriguez versus Cameron Salmon. Who would like to take that one? Or do y'all want me to just kick it off?
Just kick it off.
So I'm just going to say this. Wrestling.
Yeah.
If you fast forwarded any part of this fight, you would see Christian Rodriguez choking out Cameron Salmon, thinking that he was about to tap him, but he did not. Whoever came up with this matchmaking, my hat's off to you. This was a great matchup. I thought these guys, to a degree, I felt they were evenly matched, but the grappling is really what made the difference. Like, this ended up being a decision win for Christian Rodriguez, but like, some of the, what was that choke he kept going for? Is that like a Peruvian necktie? Is that what
anaconda?
Called?
It was an anaconda choke. Yeah.
Bro, he got him in that shit like 3 times.
Yeah.
Like, he damn near did that to him once per round. He basically got a takedown per round. And every time he got the takedown, he had a decent amount of control time. And even during the times that Cameron was able to get that the top control, it felt like he was still in danger.
Right.
It never really felt like he was in control, or like, I'm not. And what's the term I'm looking for? Me and my old roommate, we used to think of it. We used to call it like, he gave him a gentleman's ass whooping, which is like, he beat him in every facet of the game, but he definitely didn't get a perfect. But it was like, this train is only going in one direction.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I looked at it. Like, he nearly decapitated him with that knee in that second round. Like, I just thought from the clap, obviously from the collision, I was like, oh shit. And I was like, oh, okay, he okay. Because he threw a switch knee when he went to shoot in, and we've seen that movie before. We know how ugly that shit could get.
Yeah. That's a hard one right there.
Yeah, it was a horror movie for real. But that's pretty much my thoughts on it. If anybody have anything they want to add on Christian Rodriguez, Cameron Salmon, Bryce,
First of
TJ?
all, I got to give a shout out to my boy Joe and to my sister Marianne because they came through yesterday to watch the fights with like me and my wife. But like we got to also acknowledge that Rodriguez missed weight.
Yeah, this is his second time doing
It
it
was
too.
like it was pretty egregious. You can't deny that also gave him a bit of an advantage in
I'm not gonna
terms
hold you.
of
I
the
didn't know about
differential.
that, so that's my bad.
Yeah, no, we will make you regret this later.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. But it's like because it had to have made a difference in terms of the strength differential and for sure in the grappling. Like it may not seem like all right, maybe a pound here, pound there. Might not seem like much, but remember, we also have to consider that it's
It
one
was 4
thing
pounds, wasn't
missing
it?
weight. Yeah, well, yeah, it's one thing missing that, but then you take in after weigh-ins how athletes will rehydrate and start eating again. There's no way that they're like at 135 if they were on weight before and versus someone missing weight. Like he could easily have tacked on another 10 pounds to what he missed. So could have been like a 14-pound additional weight difference or whatever, if that makes sense. But yeah, he missed weight. He had a lot of control. I thought Simon's defense was somewhat on point. Like it felt like Rodriguez couldn't always keep him down. But for the most part, it ended up being a dominant performance. I think what
He hit
Simon
the
could
Derek Lewis,
benefit
just get
from,
up.
yeah, he did. I think what Simon could benefit from, in all honesty, would be just making his punches a little bit sharper. Because it felt like oftentimes he was kind of hitting Rodriguez off to the side, and a lot of his punches were being deflected. But if he could like stay in the pocket, I think another example on this card that we'll get to is like Sadiq Yusuff's boxing in that first round, right? That's something I feel like Simon could benefit a shit ton from going forward. Bryce, what'd you think?
Yeah, I thought it was a good fight. I think they were pretty even, actually, to me personally. I think Cameron and Christian were pretty even on the stand up. Christian was just very good at keeping out of range just subtly. And like you mentioned, TJ, we don't know how that 4 pounds could have changed the fight. I think what it really came down to was Christian's wrestling ability, just to be able to take down Cameron. I think that was the deal maker, just being able to get him down constantly. Cameron's jiu-jitsu was pretty good. Like he was getting out of everything. Like,
Yeah.
they were, every time Christian held him, Cameron would make a way out. But, just ultimately it's Christian just being the more dominant person and getting them down there in the first place, and even getting them 2 Anaconda Vice attempts.
Yeah.
That really kind of played it down. I thought, honestly, this just had me looking at the judges crazy, because even though I understand like Christian won the fight, but unanimous to me
Yeah,
was
I would have seen a split. I would have seen a
yeah.
split decision personally because I thought, just to add on, I also thought that Cameron was doing a good job of maintaining the pace the whole 3 rounds. Like striking wise, he kept on throwing. But yeah.
I like my numbers. Total strikes. Christian Rodriguez had 92 out of 173. Cameron had 87 out of 192. Significant strikes. Christian had 83. Cameron had 73. And then takedowns, Christian got 3 and Cameron didn't have any. And submission attempts, Christian had 2. So, that was the deal break. Christian had the slight advantage, of course, in the strikes. It's just them takedowns and them submission attempts. Them Anaconda Vices were scary. The fact that he got it out of that shit so quickly and so neat, like both times, was insane.
Yeah.
That was a good starter to the card. But that's what I think about that one. Y'all want to go into the next one? Y'all want me to open?
Go ahead. Go into Petroski versus Pereira.
Middleweight battle. Andre Petroski versus Michel Pereira. This is another thing too. I just want to add with Christian Rodriguez. Maybe he should go to featherweight, because this is a prime example. Michel is this is his first fight at middleweight after like a 17-month absence, I think. That's crazy. But
it would have been like, damn, they let him come back.
Right.
Kept his ranking and everything.
Right. Andre Petrovsky, I believe he was on Tough as well. He's coming off of a win of against Gerald Mearshart.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Michelle. He was supposed to fight Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, as we all know, but he didn't make weight, and Stephen said, "Fuck that, I'm not fighting that motherfucker." So, this motherfucker's 30. That's crazy.
Pereira?
Pereira's 30.
No, that nigga's at least 40.
Nah, bro, he's 30.
Nah,
bro.
man, that nigga's 40.
I need to check this
that
shit.
Nigga's 40, bro.
What the fuck was
nigga? He's somebody's dad, bro.
This motherfucker was born in 93, bro.
He was born in 82, dog. He was born in 82,
fuck,
bro. Nah, UFC got it wrong, dog.
This motherfucker is this motherfucker's a mutant.
I was gonna say though, I don't think Petrovsky was his original opponent. I think Petrovsky was like a last minute switch out because I was checking with my boy Joe, and we noticed that like the fight got canceled. Yep. The original matchup got canceled, and it was some Petrovsky came through.
Yep, he was supposed to fight Marc-Andre Barriou.
Yes, he was the original one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But it didn't work out, and of course, Andre came through. There's not really much to say. Pereira looked good at the middleweight. I think this is where he really should be. I think he's going to be an interesting addition to the division because a minute in and Pereira got one good cross and Andre was down.
Mink.
He got minked. Andre went back to the cage and Pereira just got on top of him and started raining them fuckers down. The fact that he still is agile, he's still, is mobile at middleweight. He has more power probably. With the new changes in UFC.
Oh my God.
I'm kind of scared. So we go see what's gonna happen. Pereira won via TKO. You got any thoughts on that?
Hey, Bryce said off air that he understands that like Pereira's not on shit, but he definitely doesn't want a world where nigga like Pereira can be on shit.
Right. Not at all.
There's grand opening, grand closing is all I got to say. He went in there and got the job done and went back out. That was it. Bryce pretty much covered. I mean, it was the fight a minute and a half.
TJ, this nigga 30, bro.
What if Petrovsky's camp? They're just like, well, whatever camp he could get. They're just like, hey, watch out for his backflip. when he backflips.
Can you imagine like the conversation?
Like he never backflipped, coach.
The conversations that go
into like, fucking chin did though.
Hey G, if he start two-stepping, hey, you got to move. You got to get out of there. What? This nigga might hit the stanky leg. That's when you really got to be careful.
It's different.
I got nothing serious to add. Y'all hit the nail on the head. Is it cool if I take us into Martinez versus Yanez?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so we had Jonathan Martinez versus Adrian Yanez at Bantam 135, right?
Thank you.
Oh, last thing I wanted to say real quick too. I think Pereira he looked like he was 205. But all right, anyway, going back to Martinez versus Yanez at Bantam, this was 135. Look, I was particularly keen on this matchup because Adrian Yanez was coming off a loss to Rob Font because he got starched by Rob Font. And then Jonathan Martinez was coming off of a really important win that put a very big name on his resume in Cub Swanson. Now, how did he beat Cub Swanson? It was via leg kick TKO. And it was very hard to see a legend like Cub get put out like that. That being said, I couldn't help but wonder, what the hell does Jonathan Martinez have in his legs that's causing people to just give up like this, right? So, sure enough, this matchup between him and Adrian Yanez, it starts out with Martinez doing a good job of kind of managing the distance so he's still within range of chopping down the lead leg of Adrian Yanez, right? But Yanez is kind of doing a good job letting his hands go, kind of hitting up the middle, Martinez has the high hands, high guard, throwing the occasional punch, but what is his forte? The leg kicks. And dude, once the first kick connected and the sound it made, I was like, oh, he's gonna do it again. like I was just like, he's gonna do it again. He is going to do it again. I don't know how to describe what I was hearing. All I know is that shit looked like it hurt.
Sounded like that nigga wasn't gonna hoop tomorrow. That's what it sounded like.
It sounded like scholarships were gone. No more soccer, no more football. Hey, driving is going to be difficult. Hey, using the bathroom might be an issue, Playboy. I hope you're good at walking on your hands. That's what it fucking sounds like. Yeah, dude. Jonathan Martinez basically did again. First round, he laid the initial first coat of damage down on fucking Yanez's lead leg, managed to drop him with leg kicks toward the end of the first round. And second round, it was a wrap. Dropped him a few more times, like egregiously dropped him. Like, goddamn, you would have thought Yanez got hit with a punch. Made Yanez pull guard a few times. And like the last time Yanez pulled guard, he was clutching at his knee because there were a few instances where Martinez hit his leg so hard, and I think maybe Yanez tried to ride it, which is a way to kind of defend it. It's like, you know how in boxing you can roll with a punch? You kind of use your shoulder to do a shoulder roll and kind of let the energy slide off of your shoulder as you kind of hide your chin. There's a way to do that dealing with leg kicks on your lead leg, where if they're hitting you with their rear leg, you kind of go with the momentum of the kick, so to speak, but you're still kind of riding slightly above it, so it takes some of the heat off. But as he was trying to ride it, it's like Martinez's shin was putting like inside pressure on Yanez's leg, kind of making his ankle kind of flail out a weird way and putting pressure on the outside ligaments of his knee. It just didn't look pretty. And sure enough, I think it was Chris Tognoni, who was the ref. He was like, you know what? I've seen enough. I'm not trying to see somebody's leg literally get kicked off of their body. And that was it. Jonathan Martinez did it again. Now, two things. One, what the fuck does the training session look like at the gym that this man has dynamite in his leg like this? Because you know there's got to be someone at the gym who doesn't compete, who gives him problems where he had to develop this shit. Two, he calls out Merab Dvalishvili. Now, Merab is he is a cardio machine, and he sticks to his opponents like white on rice. Like, you ain't getting away from me. No, take this pressure. I'm gonna swarm you. You're gonna think it's like 17 of me when it's really just me. And I'm wondering what his chances are. But you know, Yanez was pretty fast on his feet until those leg kicks started coming through. So I don't know. It might be an interesting matchup. But I want to see. Like, Jonathan Martinez has got to have something else in addition to his leg kicks, I feel like, if he's going to try to go for someone like Merab. What y'all think?
Look, man, there's a certain pain I feel every time I see somebody go down off them leg shots. And I like Adrian Yanez too, so I was like, fuck. Like, yeah, I too got the chill down my spine, TJ. When he landed that first kick, I was like,
oh, this is happening again. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Y'all remember the Chappelle show?
What am I gonna do about my legs? Charlie Murphy.
Yeah. That's really what comes.
I never gave you niggas money.
What am I gonna do about my legs, Martinez?
Adrian Yanez won't be dancing for a little while.
Oh,
he'll dance again, but it's gonna be a minute.
Bruh, he gonna be at his house on strict lockdown. If he got kids, they do not have Legos right now. He is not doing
they any do not have Legos. And niggas say I'm minimizing all risk.
All risk. All risk. Everything got like some fucking rubber on it, fam. I'm not hitting my Lego shit.
I kind of want to see what his leg is looking like today. It's got to be swollen as hell.
His shit probably look like a turkey leg that got boiled.
That is a strong visual.
Yeah.
That I'm not sure I needed.
I'm sorry, but that's what I'm picturing. His shit got cooked. His shit got fricasseed. Like seasoning. Yeah, nah. That shit was crazy. I ain't never seen somebody scream on the inside.
Wait,
And
what?
I could tell.
Ah!
He's screaming on the inside. He can't let it out, but he's screaming. You ever bitch?
They got back to the locker room. It's all right. Is everybody gone? Cameras gone. Okay.
Motherfucker.
My leg. Hey, SpongeBob, my leg.
This nigga didn't have to kick me like that.
Oh.
And
when I came down, I'm trying to tell you.
I thought I got away. Why this cage so small? I can't get away. Oh man.
I'd have been like, you don't know no other moves. He only know how to do the low kick. He don't know how to do nothing else. He don't even know the move set.
Oh my God. You talking about the people who spam the one move?
He just spamming that. He just keep pressing X. He not raw.
You a bitch, bro. Why you keep kicking my weak ass leg? You see I can't walk. You can't hit any other play.
No kicks.
Nah, we gonna run it back. No kicks. Shit.
Oh man, that was hilarious.
That motherfucker.
Well, we gotta call him kicks at the start of the match.
Nah, come down here with me. Nah, get on the ground. Get on the ground with your bitch ass. You ain't gonna come down here with me. Nigga can't get up. Nah, come down here with me. Nah, fuck that. Nah, let's do this jujitsu shit. Let's do some MMA. Nah, fuck that.
Oh my God.
My leg don't hurt. I'm just tired. That's it.
Yeah. All right.
His eyes. Oh, bro.
All right.
Y'all. You a G for that. I would have ran the first hit.
Throw the damn towel. Give me that towel. Nigga, give me that towel. You see how he hit me?
What's that, man? This nigga crazy, boy. This shit crazy. I'm out, yo. This shit crazy. I can't feel my whole side of the leg. He hit me one time. I think I'm good now. I done learned my lesson. Good. Shut up.
All right. Man, you want to take us into Maya versus Araujo?
Yeah, sure. So we got hold on real quick. Got Jennifer Maya versus, how you say it one time? I know it's the
Viviane Araujo.
Okay. So Viviane Araujo. Right.
No, you got it. You hit it. You got it.
All right. This almost felt like a passing of the torch damn near. Like, just at least within the division, not even really passing of the torch, because it's not like Jennifer Maya's like that far into it, but wrestling, man. Like I just can't quantify it any other way. I know I'm kind of like talking in circles, but like the grappling shit, it just continuously makes a difference. Like, at least for me, this shit continues to make a difference. When I watched this fight, it wasn't, truth be told, it definitely was not the most exciting fight to watch, but it was the ground control that Araujo was able to get, specifically for me in the first round. She was able to just sit on this girl's back.
Yeah.
And I mean, she just had her constantly under the threat of jiu-jitsu. Now, with that said, I felt like Jennifer Maia gave a really good account of herself as well. I mean, like she tried to do the best she could with the volume as far as her hands were concerned, but you know, Vivian Araujo just was not having it, bro. She just was refusing. Like she wasn't gonna allow herself to be put away. And I mean, I could definitely understand that because Araujo is looking to move up, and this is number 11 trying to fight number 9. And even given off the performance that I just saw, I definitely see some other people that she could beat and potentially have a little bit more of an exciting fight with. And that's not necessarily a knock on her. Like, your game is your game. For me, as long as you're not a motherfucker that's stalling, I really don't have a problem with a quote unquote boring fighter.
Right.
I just don't like to see a person that's not like actively trying to win. I would like to see, Araujo fight Ribas maybe, just because they were already scheduled to fight before and it didn't happen. Which would, I mean, I guess technically she wouldn't need to since we don't know how they're gonna shuffle the rankings, right? Because Araujo's 11, Ribas is 10, Maya's 9, but you know how they switch shit around. We don't know how valuable this win is. Like, is this gonna put her ahead or behind Macy Barber? I don't know.
Right.
No, but I just felt like more than anything else, the grappling is really what made the difference. I thought these two women were, the way that Bryce was saying, Salmon and Rodriguez were pretty evenly matched. I felt like that was kind of the same, but this was also not necessarily evenly matched as much as it was somewhat of like a mirror match where I felt like they kind of canceled each other out pretty well, and the difference was the grappling. But that's pretty much my thoughts on it. I'm gonna pass it to TJ.
Yeah, I thought it was 19-19 going into round 3, and it looked like Maya was gonna clinch it up because she got on Araujo's back and everything was going her way, locking down, doing a good job of locking down Araujo's posture. Damn near got her in that like standing cobra twist for a little bit. And then she fumbled when she went for that armbar attempt and lost it, ended up on the bottom. And then Araujo was like, hey, it's nothing personal, but I gotta capitalize on this, right? And she won the unanimous decision. Yeah, it was pretty even up to because I feel like Viviani got round 1. I feel like Maya got round 2, and then Viviani for sure got round 3. So I want to say it was like what 29-28 unanimous for Araujo. What'd you think, Bryce?
I think y'all pretty much covered it. I like my numbers. I'll add that to it. Jennifer Maya had 60 out of 126 total strikes. Significant strikes, she had 41 out of 101. And then takedown, she had 2 out of 4. Vivian had 64 out of 100 strikes. She had 24 out of.
Wait, Bryce, you cut out.
So, it just looks.
Wait,
like
Bryce, say that last part again. You cut out a little bit.
Oh, my bad. Takedowns, she got 2 out of 6, so 33.3%. So, just outside of takedowns, Vivian just had the better percentage, and she had the submission attempt. So, yeah, solid, even fight. Yeah, this was a good card. This really was. Yeah. So, I guess we're gonna go into the main event. Y'all want me to kick it off, or anybody want to?
Let's do it, bro. Do it.
Well, yeah. Let's get into it. This right here was a main event, boy. We have Sadiq Yusuff versus Edson Barboza. This is a featherweight bout. Sadiq is coming off of a win, I believe. His last fight, I think, was in 2002. Yep, 2002. He won via submission against Don Shinice. And Edson Barboza, I think he hasn't fought in a while, actually. He's coming back. He looked good. He looked strong, and he was coming off of a win against Billy Quarantillo. Anyway. Solid fight. I think the thing that we need to discuss first and foremost is that Edson Barboza got accosted in that first goddamn round.
Every time you say accosted, it's
that shit funny.
Comedy gold.
Accosted, fam. It was insane. Sadiq Yusuff had a plan and he saw it through. And Edson just had to muscle and strengthen it out. He definitely got the knockdown. Sadiq got the knockdown, and Edson, like me and TJ talked about it out that first round. Like he was just standing, even though he was unconscious.
His eyes went into the back of his head, y'all. You could see the whites of his eyes on camera.
Yeah, that was without a doubt a 10-8 round. I think who commentated last night? Bisping talked about a 10-7. That could have been the case.
Bisping is always looking on some disrespectful shit.
Exactly. And then going into the second round, Sadiq definitely kept that pressure going, but I feel like it was starting to kind of wear down on him, as well we'll talk about later. Sadiq kept the pressure up, but Barboza just kept his ground. You know, he's still a vet, still was able to defend himself somewhat. I think another switch around besides just the fatigue was Barboza got a good shot on Sadiq, which made him respect Barboza's power. Like he kind of backed up a little bit afterward. I'd say that was the second round. And then third round, this is when we got the switch over from Barboza being the vet and being in this situation many times before. You know, that technique started to shine through. He started to get more strikes in. He started to attack that body more, which had a lasting effect on Sadiq's vitality. Barboza just kept it going. Sadiq did try to kind of keep it up, but you know, just Barboza with the technique. I want to say no, that wasn't. Going into the fourth round, this is when Barboza really started to shine, and of course, we got the legendary Barboza kick that just caught Sadiq and just put him down. Barboza
knocked his credit score loose.
His credit score loose.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Sadiq forgot who he was for a second, where he was. And Barboza took advantage of that. He tried to get some strikes in. It didn't really work so well. So he tried to get a submission in, I think. Ground defense.
Wait, Bryce, say that one more time. Kind of cut out a little bit.
Damn, my computer fucking me up. Anyway, Barboza tried to get a submission. It didn't work. He did try to get some strikes in to kind of try to shut Sadiq's light off.
No, you said what you said.
No, that's true. That's real true. I'm pretty sure you die and come back if you get a Barboza kick. So, going into the fifth round, Barboza showed his vet skills. He just came through solid, just steady strikes to the body, catching some in the head. I saw sometimes he kind of scared Sadiq a little bit with the potential of a wheel kick, but he never threw it. Just steady. Sadiq tried to come back a little bit in the fifth round. It was pretty close, but I think the closer was Barboza started to get takedowns in. He got him with a very nice takedown, kept Sadiq on the ground a little bit, kind of played a little bit of the grapple game. And then in the last minutes of it, he got like one or two more takedowns?
Yeah, he had a beautiful outside trip toward the end of the last round. I was like, oh yeah, he clinched this.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I think if that fight would have kept going, the fifth round, Barboza didn't get them takedowns, it would have been a tie. But I think that just kind of edged out in his favor. Y'all know I like my numbers. Sadiq Yusuff, 206 out of 397 total strikes. Significant strikes, 178 out of 351, and 1 out of 2 takedowns, right? Barboza, 178 out of 347 total strikes, 164 out of 324. And then, of course, his takedowns, he had 3 out of 4. What's crazy is if you look at the percentage, they're not that far off. Sadiq had 51.9% total strikes. Barboza had 51.3.
I feel like Sadiq landed most of those on the first round.
Yeah, Sadiq got them in definitely in that first round, but Barboza evened it out.
Right.
Second, third, fourth, and fifth round. yeah, it really came down to Barboza's experience. No sweat off of Yusuff. Like, he did a great job. He had a great strategy going in the first round, and some of the second round. It's just he felt that power from Barboza, and that made him That made him say, "Let me chill out a little bit."
Right.
That could have been to his detriment, but I can't say I can't understand. Shit, he caught a fucking kick later.
Right.
Why?
Edson Barboza. You're just like, you know what?
Oh, that's what I want to talk about. Was it the third round or the fourth round? I think it was the fourth.
The wheel.
But no, not the wheel kick. It was his coach. No, it was the third round. It was the third because the coach was like, "You are Sadiq."
Super Sadiq Yusuff.
You are Super Sadiq Yusuff. I'm like,
controversial as
Barboza.
Yeah, it's like controversial as Lloyd Irvin.
You need to go over the strategy, my nigga.
Yeah, you need to go over the strategy.
Yeah.
He don't need to hear that right now. He need tips.
I don't need to hear that. Right. This ain't warrior, motherfucker. Give me the strategy. I need to throw at this nigga. I was so mad off of him doing that. I was so mad. I would have been pissed. Bro, I know that is Edson Barboza. This nigga got a highlight for 2 decades. They still show that highlight.
Of the same thing.
Of the same thing.
Yeah.
He has hurt an immeasurable amount of people with the exact same move.
Do you know how many niggas got a delayed knockout? The only one I can think of is Edson Barboza. The nigga can knock you out and you don't know until later.
You don't know until later.
Oh, with that Shane Burgos fight?
Yes.
Yes. You don't know until later.
Bro.
There's a knockout coming 2 business days.
You're just with your family having breakfast
and just fall out. Oh!
What's happening? No, it's cool. I fought Edson Barboza.
Damn Barboza.
I knew that nigga knocked me out. I knew he knocked me out. I knew it was coming eventually. That's why I got that cool.
Hey, y'all remember when he almost hit Khabib with that shit?
Yeah.
Khabib was like, "Yeah, you definitely going on the ground." Hell no.
Let's just shut this down right now.
I'm doing this.
He threw that roundhouse kick. Khabib was like, "Oh hell no,
no, we're not doing it."
The fuck the wins.
No, because that shit went right over his head.
He did feel the win.
He felt that calf go over his head.
That's a little aggressive, huh? He's like, "That's a little aggressive, huh?" All right,
like, bro, let's shut that down. Bears and I'm scared. Yeah. I fought bears and I am scared. You're going to the ground.
This should have cost you an arm and a leg. I tell you what, motherfucker. He's another motherfucker that it took some scholarships. He was the first in the UFC to take a scholarship. He literally won his debut with TKO leg kicks.
Yes, they mentioned that too during the commentary. They're like, yeah, not Sadiq Yusuff, Jonathan Martinez and Edson Barboza.
Yeah,
that's crazy. You can shut somebody down with your legs.
With your legs, just an
instant
pink slip.
Body and leg punches and kicks.
What if someone's like, it's like, yeah, I'm training to fight Edson Barboza, and you just see him just do double dutch, high speed. It's like, nope, nigga, you ain't getting these legs hitting spin moves and shit. Just like,
what am I doing with
my legs, motherfucker?
Marbles on the ground, nigga. I want to see you throw a kick down.
Damn.
Edson Barboza versus
Edson Barboza will be
Kevin
like
McAllister.
Edson Barboza will be like, okay.
Yeah. You think I haven't trained the scenario, nigga? What?
Like, like, how could you prepare for this?
It's like, okay, Black Panther, you prepared your whole life to fight the unknown, huh? It's like, marbles.
Damn.
3rd grade, brother.
Oh man. Okay. Who taking it?
Well, shit. I don't really have anything to add, Bryce. Like, you hit the nail on the head. You talked about how he got knocked out, eyes open, fully conscious, stay 10 toes down, right? Like, while unconscious.
Sometimes it's just different for niggas, bro.
Okay, so then what the fuck did you go through training wise or experience wise to the
He
point
24 and 11 in the UFC, bro.
Even if you get knocked out, your consciousness or your subconscious is like, we need to stay standing. Or your legs are so trained, they're like, no, nigga, you got knocked out, not us.
Edson Barboza has been in the UFC since 2011. That's what happened to him.
Okay. That's okay.
He's been in the UFC since 2011 and has fought in 2 different divisions.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. Then I have nothing else to add, except next week we got a card that looked like it was going to be in shambles, but is now primed to be a fucking insane card.
I'm holding my breath until it happens.
That's fair.
Damn. What do you think can happen?
No, but we've had our hearts.
What has already happened?
True. Damn.
We got UFC 294 next week. We got Islam Makhachev, which initially was against Charles Oliveira, but is now against Alexander Volkanovski.
The Revengeing Part 12.
We also got a new co-main event, which initially was Khamzat Chimaev versus Paulo Costa, and it is now Kamaru Usman versus Khamzat Chimaev at 185. And the winner of this fight is going to go on to fight Sean Strickland for the 185-pound title.
Title eliminator looks like then, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
So we will be covering that, and I'm gonna propose this to you guys as well. A quick maybe topic of the week next week for combat.
Sure. I'm with
TJ.
Oh, for me?
Are you down?
Yeah, I've had a combat topic of the week that I proposed before.
Okay,
Yeah.
well then we'll do another one. I would like to propose that we do one of our top 5 UFC fighters that never became champ.
Oh, that's a good one.
Best fighters that didn't become champ.
Do interim belts count?
No. So if they didn't get the undisputed, no, I'll take interim. They got to get undisputed.
Okay.
So, all right. With that said, thank you guys so much for checking us out. This has been another episode of the Now Mind You podcast. You can follow us all on social media. You can find me at MATTHAMBRIC. That's Matt Hambrick on all social media platforms. That's at MATTHAMBRIC TJ.
Let me tell you where you can find me, brother. You can find me on Instagram. That's right. Instagram, right where it all goes down in the DMs. Wink, wink. I don't know where I'm going with this. But with that being said, you can find me at Tuss4Skate. That's TUSS_skate. Where can they find you, Bryce?
Yeah. Y'all know what it is. Yeah. Velvet Panther, baby. Velvet Panther. You can find me Ashe _Onsa. That's AXE_ONCA. Velvet Panther coming soon. Velvet Panther.
Oh my God. With that said, you can follow us at Now Mind You Podcast wherever you like to get your social media and where you like to get your podcast. We will see you guys next week. Hopefully you guys check out that card, and peace out. Be safe.
Peace. Velvet Panther.
Please end the recording.